Given here, the Kuwait plant is having a capacity of 1 lakh metric ton. In India, we are having a combined capacity of 2 lakh metric ton. Russell 75,000 and in Vietnam 50,000. So the awards we have won for our performance, these are some of the awards. I will explain you briefly. One of the prestigious award which we have won is PEP Project of the Year. Actually, we have constructed the biggest PEP project in India. That project is Renault Nissan in Chennai, and it is the largest PEP building in the world itself. So for this we received an award, and for EPC World Award, in fact we have made a hat-trick. They have received 3 times. DNP Infra Awards we have received, and from Safety Council we have received, and some more green buildings we have received some awards, and even for the corporate governance we have received an award. Similarly in HR, Best Employer of the Asia we have received. So that just speaks about the company. And the clientele, in fact our clientele are even more popular than us. So some of the clientele, I think most of you know about it. We have made all these projects in India. For example, Nokia, Hansen, Danieli, Gammon, Lawson & Toubro, MRF, you name any multinational or some of the companies like NCC, and even in ITC, FMCG sector, automobile industry, food sector. So we have done several projects, which some of the projects I will share with you. Continuing with the clientele, I think these are known to you. We have done in fact a shipyard for Shipova Shipyard, a government company, and we have done even in defense. For example, Bijani is a defense organization in Hyderabad. So across all the segments we have done our projects, and we are very proud of our clientele, and some of them actually they want to invest in the new state of Andhra Pradesh also. The systems and practices are very important for any organization. So I would like to share with you what are the systems and practices practiced in Kirby. So engineering is the heart of the company. So we are having a global center of engineering excellence at Hyderabad in India that will cater to all the other 5 plants. And we are having about more than 250 structural engineers, and we follow the state-of-the-art packages and facilities and the latest softwares. Some of you may be knowing these softwares, and all the international design codes we follow, and we can design to any global seismic load requirement. The quality certifications, obviously in India we are ISO certified organization. Elsewhere the other companies also are certified internationally. And briefly about the manufacturing expertise, we are having the plant automatic roll forming machines which will be used for manufacturing the secondary members like purlins of Z and C sections, automatic submerged arc welding for making the built-up sections where the quality is of highest standard, sheeting roll forming machine to make the profiles of the sheets, multi-task cutting machines, built-up fabrication lines, and for surface preparation, like in coastal areas we require shot blasting or sand blasting. Normally sand blasting is nowadays it is outdated, so we are going for shot blasting, and we have a shot blasting machine. In fact, we have 6 members. So these are the facilities briefly about the manufacturing expertise of the company. Then coming to the quality practices, the material, actually we have to follow the quality standards starting from the material inspection to the supply and even the erection of the building. So these are some of the procedures we are following it, and at every stage there will be a quality check. So pre-engineered building, the advantage is it is manufactured, it is engineered and manufactured before it comes to the site at a controlled environment at a factory, and it will be delivered to the factory where we can assemble the structure. So you can be assured of the quality product. Continuing, we should also have a testing machine. In fact, we are one of the best in the industry. We have a good quality laboratory. Some of you may be knowing all these tests. For example, to conduct a mechanical property test, both destructive and non-destructive. For welding of the structure, DPT, MPI, ultrasonic, etc. We are having the facilities. Similarly, several others like paint. Salt spray test is one of the important things. In fact, it is an accelerated 1000 hours salt spray test we are conducting to know about the quality of the sheeting material. So this is one of the best in the industry we are having. Similarly, other equipment we are having for the quality laboratory. Safety procedures. In fact, safety is the one of the important vision of the company, Kirby. So we are committed to provide a safe and healthy environment, starting from design to the erection. So these safety requirements are very important for most of the complex buildings and even for multinational companies. This is the highest requirement. So the aim is to maintain the zero accidents. Then the construction activity, if you see the pre-engineered building, there are some important factors. For example, there is no curing at site required, so we can avoid the water drainage and soil erosion. Similarly, we can prevent the pollution because there is no dust for cement, sand and aggregates, etc. in this product. Heat island effect. This is also an important factor nowadays, especially in urban areas where there is about 5 to 6 degrees Celsius increase in the environment because of man-made activities. So the use of metal roof in fact provides you, that's why it is called a cool roof, because of its high solar reflective index. It will reduce the heat island effect. Recycling is also very important. In the ecological cycle and energy efficiency, recycling of the product is important. In fact, pre-engineered building is one of the advantages is recyclability, so we can reuse it. And some of the material we can recycle also, thus saving large amount of energy. So save energy on site is also there. In fact, it is the green features. Green buildings you must have heard. So in fact, PEP is one of the best green buildings, we can say. You can score a lot of points on LEED requirement. The products, of course, PEP is our lot of the company. PEP is nothing but pre-engineered steel building, as we explained. Then structural steel, storage solution. I will discuss briefly about it. Pre-engineered buildings can be used across all segments. So through examples I will tell you, in industry buildings, especially in factories, we can use very quickly, and the construction time is almost 25% less than the traditional construction. Warehousing, to store any product. So warehouses, it will be extensively used. Offices and schools, some of them may not be knowing that PEP cannot be used in particular segments. So it is only a taboo, and these actually by constructing offices and schools with PEP, in Gulf as well as in India also, nowadays we are doing this. Showrooms, aircraft hangars, metro stations. So these are some of the applications of PEP. And the highlights of Kirby PEP is, Kirby is the market leader across all the regions, wherever it operates in India. In India, in fact, we are the pioneer. Some of them call pre-engineered buildings as Kirby buildings. So we have completed 65,000 projects globally and over 6,000 projects in India alone, consisting of 15,000 buildings. More than 50% of our business is coming from repeat customers, which indicates you the customer satisfaction. Most of the customers are coming back for the quality and service. And we have, as we have already discussed, we have constructed the world's largest PEP, and we are proud of that. Actually, we constructed in India. You know about the multinational, the French multinational Renault and Japanese Nissan. As a joint venture, they have built a huge facility, automobile facility in Chennai, and it is a very good facility. Actually, some of you can see that also. And we have constructed world's largest gearbox manufacturing facility for wind turbines, onsen drives in Coimbatore. And we have achieved the first milestone. Actually, we have used 500 metric ton crane installed on a curvy structure built for Toshiba JSW Power Systems at Chennai. And we have partnered with all the top leading companies across various industrial segments, as we have seen in our clientele list. And we are the first PEP company to enter into highly complex shipyard and power sectors. For example, Pipavav shipyard built by L&T, and for power sectors, we have entered into Madhukan Power and Meenakshi Energy in Nellore district. Structural steel. Structural design verification and ability. Actually, we can do structural steel also, starting from the design verification, and we can even partner with our consultants also in this process. We have done several projects. Internationally approved standards, work procedures and quality assurance systems, repeating the same thing. Process according to the latest code specification with strict quality control, and material procurement from certified mills and mill test certificate will provide. Some of the structural steel examples are, in Kuwait, in fact, they have built a bridge. So there is a huge scope for structural steel in heavy industries like oil and gas. Actually, these are not yet fully utilized in India. There is a scope in India to utilize fully in these segments. Petrochemical industry, we can use it. Aluminum smelters, fertilizer plants, cement plants. Cement plants, we have done a lot of projects. Infrastructure, we can use structural steel in bridges, power and desalination plants, airports and seaports, aircraft hangars, multi-story buildings. Nowadays it is catching up. Residential, commercial malls, multi-story car parks, hospitals. So some of the examples you can see here. So in India also they are coming up. Storage solution. Actually, we are also into this product, industrial racking, we call it. So, in fact, pallet racking, after Godrej, we are the number 2 now, and we aim to be the market leader in this segment also. So, we can do all these facilities, drive-in and drive-through racking systems, and the long span shelving, we can do it. Rack supported mezzanine floors, that means rack itself will support the mezzanines, that we can do it. And these are other products in the racking. As you can see, Kirby's storage solution, we can give as a solution provider rather than giving a product. That is one of our strengths. Coming to AP state, as you know, after the bifurcation, we are having 3 states. There are a lot of resources, lot of plans, which require huge infrastructure and huge industries. So even the capital formation, which everybody is discussing nowadays, between Vijayawada and Guntur, the place where we are standing here, is likely to have a huge amount of PEPs actually. Lot of scope for PEP and structural steel in this activities. So we would like to discuss briefly, because you all know about this. There is a Vision 2020 where there are a lot of activities to be completed. For example, capital city. There are a lot of smart cities across 13 districts. And countries, developed countries, Singapore and Japan, in fact, they are already visiting our state, and there are a lot of plans. So we require, if you see, briefly some of the requirements. As far as infrastructure goes, we require flyovers, power plants, road, rail, ports, airports, etc. very quickly. where there is a scope of re-engineered buildings and structural steel. Similarly, industrial plants, you have already seen the examples, there is a scope. Shopping malls, anything which you want it quickly, because we don't have a time, 2020, the mission has to be accomplished. So definitely PEP is a ally for us, and we have to use its advantages. Similarly, high-rise buildings for commercial, residential, office buildings. Even for IT and IT-enabled services industry, many people are thinking this is also required for our new state. So there also there is a scope of PEP. Similarly, logistic hubs. Because we are having the longest coastline after maybe Gujarat. So we are having a lot of scope for logistic hubs. So all these activities in a very quick time requires technology like PEP and structural steel. So some of the things which you already know, just I would like to skip through, because there are a lot of scopes in all the districts, not only in a particular district. All the 13 districts are having a scope. And Vizag-Chennai Industrial Corridor. So if you see, the investment is in terms of 3,000 billion rupees by 2025. There is a lot of potential, but how to get it and all those things, perhaps we have to discuss. Already in Vizag, we have started pharma industries. I will share with you some of the photographs of that. And in Kakinada also, in fact, it is one of the smart cities of India. Kakinada, there are a lot of scopes. For some of the industries like food processing, chemical, petrochemical and paper industry. Machilipatnam, once upon a time it is the only port, even under the combined state. It has to be, in fact, looked into. There are a lot of scopes for this segment also. Tirupati Kavasti is already catching up. A lot of SEGs are there. And in fact, we have done some of the projects there, we will show you. So the project executed, especially in the AP region, we would like to share with you, starting from small projects like, for example, in Rajahmundry, we have constructed one Honda showroom. So for a Honda showroom also we can use this composite construction. In Guntur, we have constructed Dhanlakshmi cotton mills in a small way. Then, if you go on, even multinationals like Gerdo Steel in Tadipatri, they have built up a huge steel plant supplying specialized steel to the automobile industry, which is existing in Chennai. So we have built this building. Prime Electric, a Japanese invested company, it's a huge plant actually existing in SEG in Nellore district. The area is about 17,100 square meters. Danieli India. This is also a very complex structure. If you see the area, it's very huge. 45,600 square meters approximately, a little less than 5 lakh SFT. It's a very good industry actually. Daniel industry in Nellore district. So complex crane arrangements we have made in that. And there are, as you see here, 11 numbers of EOT cranes are traveling and 30 numbers of all traveling cranes. So any complex design we can do with the PEP. Hindustan National Glass at Nellore, it is about 20,000 square meters. You must have heard about Hindustan Glass. They have a plant at Nasik also, which is built by us. This is Unicharm 3City. It's a Japanese company, healthcare. 3City is a special economy zone actually it is coming. It is a huge area, 38,000 square meters. In Vizag, we have constructed in pharma sector for Dr. Reddy's lab. Earlier they used to go with RCC, but now we are discussing the composite structure. You can see here, this is an example of composite structure. You see from outside, it looks like an international, any international facility. In fact, it is appreciated by many international people here. So, in fact, Dr. Reddy's, they are expanding in Srikakulam district and Vizag district in a big way. So, healthcare industry, we can utilize these structures. In fact, we have utilized already. Power sector. As I told you, power sector is of huge buildings, high-rise buildings with a lot of composite floors actually. Composite deck panel can be used here. One of the example is 2 by 150 megawatt power plant for PEPSCON we have executed in Nellore. It's a very complex structure which can be done very easily and in a very quick time. In fact, this is the need of the hour. By 2017 we have to complete power. In fact, we have to, we are very proud that Andhra Pradesh has become a power surplus state, one of the power surplus states, and we can sell it to many power starving states. So I think power sector is one of the important sectors where we have to build the structures very quickly. Another landmark project for us, huge facility for Meenakshi Energy, which is taken over by GDF Suez, the French company. They have invested here, and in the first phase they are going with a huge facility, and it's a power plant of 2 by 350 megawatts. And some more units they are putting up. Their target is by 2017 they would like to have they would like to be the leader of the power segment in Andhra Pradesh. So if you see this buses, they look very small from a distance. In fact, the depth of the truss is about 6 meters. So we can, any repetitive structure, we can use it and fabricate it very quickly and erect it quickly. Other landmark projects in other states, as I told you, the biggest PEP building under one roof, Renault Nissan, for which we won several awards. In fact, biggest in the world actually. So this is one of the buildings. Other buildings, Norbremse, it's a German company, and you know about Mahindra and Mahindra in Jahirabad. They have constructed huge facilities for them, 52,000 square meters. So in the automobile sector, we are the leaders. Similarly, other multinational companies we have constructed. Danfoss Industry is a power equipment supplier and air conditioning supplier actually. So they have put a very huge facility actually, 70,000 square meters of facility in Chennai. Toshiba JSW factory at Chennai, very big factory, 63,000 square meters, where for the first time we have used 500 metric ton crane. Royal Enfield, you must be knowing about this product. So 34,500 square meters of building we have constructed in Chennai. SR Steel we have constructed. These are some of the possibilities to use PEP. Possibilities are endless, but some of the possibilities where we have constructed already, we are sharing with you. Similarly, any architectural feature also we can include. If you see this printing press, so this can be easily done by PEP. Similarly, other structures, SSBI commodities in Mumbai, Biotic industries in Bahrain, Honda Express Logistics in Rajasthan. Actually, such logistics are required in the new state of Andhra Pradesh. Similarly, warehouses in Vietnam, we also require several warehouses to store our agricultural produce. PEPSCO, you all know about it. ITC, FMCG sector. Seed industry, we have constructed the projects. FMCG, giant, Hindustan Unilever, we have constructed a project for them in Assam. So, several places in India we have constructed the projects. Other projects like food industry, 3M industry, packaging industry, Milestone, Buildwell. So, the options are enormous actually. Metro railways, in fact, Delhi Metro Railway, you all know about Mr. E. Sridharan, the proud engineer actually, proud of him. And he is the person who has conceptualized this Delhi Metro station, which is one of the best in the world. So we are the part of that one. And in Hyderabad right now we are executing a metro station built by L&T. In Bangalore we have already executed it. So there are a lot of scopes for infrastructure projects. We heard that for Vijayawada and Vizag also we require these metros, where these possibilities are enormous. And Mr. Sridharan is one of the persons who is looking to that. Shipyards, Two structures, 40-meter high buildings we have constructed in Gujarat. In Kolkata, in the very beginning, we have constructed for a defense organization. L&T shipyard in Chennai, we have constructed. Similarly, in Andhra Pradesh also, there is a lot of scope for shipyard building. You know about this aircraft hangars. For VVIPs in New Delhi, we have constructed the aircraft hangars. So the spans of the aircraft hangar will be, we have built up to 110 meters without any intermediate column in between. So there are a lot of scope in these segments also for the upgradation of airports in Andhra Pradesh. For infrastructure, we can think of using steel bridge girders for a faster completion of flyovers. You must be seeing flyovers are taking enormous time, years. Some of them are half completed. So to expedite the schedule, I think one of the prospects, I request to the consultants and other engineers to look into this steel to use as a bridge girders. In a small way, we can use it. Similarly, in the core sector like steel industry, we can use it. One of the examples is Amba River Coke steel plant. And even in Raipur, we have constructed a PEPSCON, a steel plant for that. So these are the scope for PV in the core sector is also very huge. Let us come to the composite construction, where we can club different materials. Apart from steel, we can use the concrete, and they can share the load. The load carrying can be done in a composite way. So for this, normally we use the deck panel and these shear connectors. So briefly speaking, the structural order of any composite structure is, we should have a grid system. Normally this grid system should be a simplified layout where you have to concentrate on the repeatability. When the repeatability is there, we can fabricate very quickly and erect it very quickly. Then in the structural hierarchy, what is first? The first one is primary, which consists of beams and columns. Columns, vertical carrying members, beams. Secondary are the joists, that is secondary beams. Tertiary is decking sheet. So examples, you can see in this structure, it is a simple grid system. You can repeat it any number of times, like G plus 10, 12, 16. So the primary member here you can see, the vertical one is the column. The bigger section here you can see the primary, that is the beam. And there are secondary beams also. They are called joists normally, you all know about it. Then the tertiary element here is the deck panel. So all these three elements together with the concrete, they constitute the composite construction. So you can see this is the deck sheet, and shear studs are the elements, important elements required, and these shear studs are welded through the deck sheet for the beam under. So this is the composite deck beam construction. So one of our product, HB deck panel, is available in several depths actually. We are having the possibility of 3 depths. So actually deep deck is having some of the advantages I would like to share with you. So this is right now is 60% they are using as a permanent decking, but permanent decking only can save you about 50% of the steel. But when it is used as a composite construction with shear studs, you can have a steel saving of about 25%. So some of the applications of the deep deck, they can be used as a permanent shuttering to support the bed concrete. This will speeden up the work. Then continuous flange stiffness and deep embossments at a frequent interval. If you see the deep deck, you see the embossment here that will add to the bonding and strength. So that will act as a composite structure, and composite floor wheels can be created by welding the shear studs which I explained you. A typical application of deep decking panels are in the following buildings: high-rise buildings, which I will show you, I will share with you. Multiplexes and commercial buildings you can think of in the new state. Power plant buildings, which I already showed you, and there are a lot of other scopes. Office buildings, which are required in the new state very quickly. Mezzanine floors in industrial buildings and warehouses also we can use composite construction. Thus there is a saving of about 25% in the steel. So these are the advantages. The software we have to use, we are all having that software, and most of the consultants are also having that. So by using these softwares, you will know that the repeatability of the grids is an important thing here. When they are repeated, you can add any number of floors. Some of the 3D views of already constructed buildings, it looks like this. You can see all are repeatable. So this is the real structure that it is during the construction, and it is constructed. So you can see it can be constructed very fast. And some of the possibilities I already shared with you by using composite construction in the showrooms which we have already constructed here. You can see here Hyundai showroom in Jamshedpur, Baroda, Amar Cars, Mercedes showroom in Kuwait. That is across the globe here they are using it for the showrooms. Malls. But this concept we have to increase in India actually. But we have started in Hyderabad, Metro Cash and Carry. Some of the malls they have used the PEPs. For example, Metro Cash and Carry in Hyderabad, Reliance Retail we have constructed in Bengal, Bharti Walmart. You must have seen some of the places. These all also we have constructed. These are other possibilities. For offices we have constructed. In fact, even Wipro, they have constructed their Bangalore office by using the pre-building composite construction. Similarly, Northeast Council in the hilly areas, in fact, they have used the secretariat. They have built with this. Long back, 10 years back, we have constructed. And Reliance Industries, you may be knowing, they have constructed their office building here in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, by using this concept. So we have constructed about 11 G+2 office buildings for them. So these are the other projects which we have done with composite construction. Even in architectural features also we can include to look to see the structure in an attractive way. And as I told you, the multi-level you can increase any number of levels. For example, this is one of the examples of constructed building G+6. These are the other buildings. BASF Chennai we have constructed using this concept. These are the photos under construction. These are already constructed actually. You can see here high-rise structures used for different purposes like residential, commercial, hospitals. So there is a huge scope actually. For example, I can share with you in Jammu, they have constructed a residential building of G+13. Oswald Denim has constructed a G+3 for their workers' accommodation. So land is wherever the land is very scarce, you can utilize this concept. So these are the attractive buildings used by using the composite construction. Car parks is one of the problems in cities where you can utilize this green new steel buildings, composite constructions. So this actually is one of the proud moments for us. In the city of Mumbai, you must have seen a lot of people living in the slums. So to clear the slums is taking years. So there is one concept actually, temporarily moving them to a particular structure and then constructing them the permanent houses. So by doing this, a lot of people are attracted and some clearance. They have made a beginning, a very good beginning in this way. So this is one of the projects for this composite construction, home to our realtors. I told you this is for some rehabilitation in the city of Mumbai. You know about Mumbai where the land prices are skyrocketing. So there they have constructed because there is a slum in the heart of the city. It is an eyesore, and Mumbai is our financial capital. So the people staying for years there, they don't want to be shifted out of the city. So within the city itself, if you want to shift them, obviously this is the first preference is to go for a composite construction PEP. So we have done this. In fact, it is a proud moment for us. So this is you can see the repeatability there. All the floors are repeating, and the construction is very fast, very easy also. So this is one of the views during the constructions. This is a T+8 structure, and in fact they wanted several such structures in hundreds. This is already an executed project during erection, during completion, semi-completion, after completing it. View of the hill. So if you construct like this, people are ready to go there, and this is only for a temporary rehabilitation. This is another view of the composite construction. Inside view is as good as any other building. Similar way we have tried in Jammu and succeeded there. It is G+13 building. Constructed very fast, lighter structure also. So in concluding, so you can see the KIPI value propositions. I can only tell you in 6 important terms. One is all human beings require a safe and healthy environment that we provide. And with an annual capacity of 425,000 metric tons, and in India itself we are having 200,000 metric tons, we can give high quality PEB and structural steel systems. So, and we are the first company to utilize PEB technology, and we suggest all the consultants also to encourage us to see new fields where we are not tracked. So we can utilize this PEB technology in many of the uses. Especially we would like to do it for the new state of Andhra Pradesh. We would like to be a part of the reconstruction, which is required in a very fast fashion. And wide global presence and accessibility, and with our experience of 100 plus certified builders we are having, and a regular update on the status of the project through our SAP system, internal systems, people can be rest assured about their project. Once they give order to us, we will own their project and complete it. And unique expertise of different types of projects. Experience counts, 65,000 different projects we have. So, but this is not enough. We require the help of budding engineers and consultants to teach us where we can do some of the important projects, especially for the new state of Andhra Pradesh. I thank you for patiently listening to me. If you have any queries, I am ready to clarify.
After all initial troubles, I would like to start presentation of my company. And being the first, second employee, I would say sales employee, I have got opportunity on working on most of the prominent projects what our company has executed past 5.5 years since its existence. I would like to start our presentation. As you all know, pre-engineered steel building has picked up past 20 years, approximately 20 years. It has been growing thick and fast, and it has become a solution to most of the engineering requirements, critical buildings, which were earlier it was impossible to get it done in India. It was supposed to be imported from various companies across the world. The earliest pre-engineered steel building was somewhere around 1990s, wherein it was imported from US by a company called Butler. It was imported from a company called Butler. And since then, since 2000, early 2000, we had seen a lot of companies have entered into this industry, and now pre-engineered steel building has become a norm in market, wherein somebody is planning to expand his industry. First thing he talks about is pre-engineered steel building. Broadly, pre-engineered steel building looks something like this, wherein you can do anything and everything in steel. It includes multi-storied structures. It even includes high-capacity cranes, which are for industrial application. It includes tall buildings, silo buildings. It includes a lot of things. We will subsequently come to those applications as we progress in our presentation. As I said, PEB evolution all across. I talked about how it happened in India, but its evolution across the globe. It started in 1900s, wherein this was the first concept used in USA for basically garages. They were also used in military applications. And slowly after World War II, we had seen a lot of change. We had seen economic slowdown. Then suddenly, the computerized designs have become limitless. People have started using new softwares for designing of pre-engineered steel buildings. I won't say pre-engineered steel buildings. They were custom made as per the requirement of the customer. And then in 1990s, they started dominating basically low-rise segments, non-residential building markets, and slowly it has picked up from 2000 in India. As I said, PEB started in Indian markets in 1990s, wherein it used to be imported. Then slowly FDI started coming into India, wherein foreign companies invested. They started putting up their plants in India, and slowly, as you can see, the industry requirement or the growth rate, this industry's growth rate is approximately 12 to 15%. And we have seen that past 10 years, a lot of new companies have come into this particular market. So it is clearly an indicator that there is potential for a lot of growth. And the latest new concept is starting an eco-friendly green building concept, wherein you try to make use of as much as recycled steel as possible, so that there is minimal wastage of any natural resources. Advantages: it has got ability to span as long as possible. Per se, our company has done around 110 meters. We have designed. We are in the drawing board stage. We have backed order. We are in the drawing board stage of 110 meter clear span structures. Apart from that, we have got faster occupancy. Cost effectiveness, because we are customizing the design as per the loads given to us. We are able to design to the core, I mean to say optimize to the core, so that it becomes a cost efficient or economical solution. Its flexibility, earthquake resistance. Recently we had an hood in Vizag, wherein we had seen a lot of structures have got affected, conventional structures. But properly designed pre-engineered steel building structures have withstood hood effect perfectly without any problems. Of course, the basic advantage of pre-engineered steel building, apart from economy, is a single point, one-point contact, one-point solution, one-stop solution for any requirement of any customer. Of course, and also factory-controlled manufacturing. To talk about a little bit about our group company, it is we are actually under umbrella of Penar Industries, which is known into southern market past 34 plus years. It has got strong strong presence in automotive segment, infrastructure segment. Also, they have got 7 different manufacturing facilities all across India, out of which 3 of those including our own facility, which is in Hyderabad. The products what Penar Industry deals into is cold rolled steel strips, profiles for automotive. In fact, most of the profiles are prominently used in companies like Eicher Motors, Toyota Motors, most of the automotive companies. Road crash barriers, we started, in fact all the NHI projects, wherever you see it was basically, it used to be basically Pennar road crash barriers only earlier. We have got building components division, which is, we are basically Pennar Group is one of the largest roll forming company in India. It can roll form almost up to 1 mm thickness of cold roll coils and all. As I said, we are under umbrella of Pennar Industries. Our existence started somewhere around about, we had incorporated our company in 2008, and we are a fully owned subsidiary of Pennar Industries called Pennar Engineered Building Systems Limited, or PEPS Pennar. We have evolved. We started our commercial production in 2010, and wherein we had only 4 months of that financial year, wherein we clocked approximately 35 crores of turnover. We started our journey in 2010, and touchwood, this year we should be somewhere around about 500 crores. That's our journey in past 5 years. We have ventured into a lot of application, not just restricting ourselves to buildings. We have done cold form buildings, not industrial buildings. We have done cold form buildings for schools. We have done high-rise structures. We have started a new segment called industrial tracking system. We have done a lot of work on 4G towers, basically transmission and communication towers. In fact, past 2 years we have been doing extremely well by this diversification. We have technically associated with a company called NCI Group. It is basically an second largest pre-engineered steel building manufacturing company in North America. And while our technical collaboration has come into picture, we have seen a lot of their patented profiles are part of our profile. One is this double lock standing seam roofing system. This has, we are actually extending 10 years leak proof warranty against this product. Now this product is widely used in North America, and we had seen that one of, like out of every 3 Walmart establishment does certainly have standing seam roofing system supplied by NCI Group. Pictures of our manufacturing facility, it's around 90,000 metric tons per annum. Engineering course, our design team is conversant with almost every kind of code, be it Euro, BS, or Indian or American. Specifically, these are the softwares what we use. As I said, the growth story of ours, we started from approximately 35 crores. This year we are aiming around 520 crores. Certain awards, because while we are into existence, we certainly have to get appreciated for the kind of projects we have executed, or the kind of managing, how we manage the companies. And we have seen that there are a lot of independent agencies like HMA or Construction Week or Business Today or IEI. Each one of those agencies have acknowledged our works, and they have been consistently appreciating our projects also, which have been nominated for their categories, subsequent categories, respective categories. We have done a lot of structural steel. We have started a business in structural steel solutions also, wherein we do support structures, boiler structures, pre-engineered steel building, heavy fabrication for steel plants, pipe rack system, and communication towers. Some of the pictures of the heavy fabrication what we have carried out. Basically, as this topic talks about, we just wanted to harp on to multi-storied projects, how fast we can execute using pre-engineered steel building technology. So we have taken a case study of 10 floors, 4 basements, and around approximately 12 lakh square feet of area. Now, how does the sequential execution of these kind of projects happen? This is how we have tried to showcase. The day one we start with the first column, week 1. Subsequently, this is how the sequential stage of installation happens. So as you can see, step on step, month on month, we had actually, we are able to execute a building which is approximately 12 lakh square feet of area in approximately 9 months of span. We generally do the shell work, exterior facade works are out of our scope. So there on from 9 months onwards, the exterior architectural works would start. So as as it is evident that these kind of these kind of buildings can be executed in a shorter span only when it is a pre-engineered steel building concept. Some of our small leaps what we have made towards this kind of solution providing is, this is a G+10 structure. It is a composite structure wherein an RCC building was there. The builder wanted to expand it by another 23 meters in order to achieve certain FSI, what the tenant wanted to have it from this builder. So it was like we had extended, as you can see the red color portion, it is around 23 meters of extension from the RCC building. We had extended it matching to all the floors, adhering to the clearances given, because it's like the building was already made, the clearances were already available using RCC, but we had to match our steel as per RCC so that all the clearances are maintained all through. And now it is completed, and after elevation it looks something like this. This is one more critical project wherein I can say it's a composite building once again. We have got 2 RCC blocks. The bottommost picture it shows. Yeah, these are the 2 blocks in RCC which were up to 6 floors, and there's an connecting girder between these 2 RCC blocks. This block was basically designed as a bridge girder, wherein one side it was done onto which was fixed basically on one side, and other side was left for expansion using a pot bearing. And then there are 5 floors all above this particular girder, which is approximately 3.2 meters deep and 38 tons of weight for each girder. There were around 5 girders, and now these 5 girders are supporting 5 floors which are above this. So on completion, this particular project is looking something like this. There's one more project called Bharat Biotech. It's a pharmaceutical company. They had a very bad experience in terms of delays in completion of their project, because pharmaceutical companies basically wish to complete their project as early as possible so that they can start manufacturing, they can start earning money. So generally their FDA approvals happens for 5 or 7 years of span. You get a license only for 5 or 7 years, within which they have to start manufacturing, they have to start the infrastructure development, and they have to start production and start earning money also. So the key for them was to have a pre-engineered steel building wherein the work execution can happen as fast as possible. Now this particular project is an architect's view which we had developed for them. We had given an idea to them that your building, which is done in RCC in approximately 2 years of span, we can do it around in 8.5 months. It's a 7-story structure, and this is how it's. The bottommost picture is the real picture, and while execution it looks something like this. Now we started from scratch, and we had executed this approximately in 9 months of span. One more project of in pharmaceutical industry segment is Dr. Reddy's. It's not a puff panel, polyurethane foam panel onto the walls, but still it's an air-cooled building inside. So we have ensured that the delta T is maintained by using certain requirements, insulation solutions, and they were able to run this facility, and now it's USFDA approved. It's in Padi. Multi-level car parking. Everyone must be knowing this. India's largest mall is Lulu Mall in Cochin, and they wanted to have a multi-level car parking system. So we have done a G+5 car parking system for Lulu in around 7.5 months. One more example of composite structure. This extension, what you can see, is around 13 meters from RCC building, and its 3 floors. This is designed including lifts or elevators also. This we have recently bagged. Now we are in the drawing board stage of this. It's a residential project, first of its kind. There are many companies who are striving to get into this business of multi-storied steel structure. It's in Hyderabad. It's around G+8 floors and 3 basements below. It's completely a steel structure. This is one more research center for Rolls-Royce for Quest SZ. And other PEB solutions are like temporary offices, security rooms and container rooms. Basically, there is going to be a lot of infrastructure development all across India, and you would need site offices as early as possible. So this pre-engineered steel building system companies can cater to this kind of requirement also. Some of our pictures, what we have done, these are supposedly it's like it makes us gives us a lot of proud feeling. This is one of the largest pre-engineered steel building in terms of length. It's approximately 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer, 100 meters. It's in Gujarat. The first pre-engineered steel building, 100-meter wide span pre-engineered steel building for Aditya Birla Group. It's 99.6 meters to be precise. 4 lakh SFT of retail building for as a national distribution center for Reliance Retail. Schindler. This is basically a knitting yarn unit in Tarapur. Integrated color-coated steel coil manufacturing company called Asian Color-Coated Ispat. Schindler. Wide span structures. This structure is quite unique, wherein we have given a truss above an RCC column, and from the truss we have given the conveyor supporting structure arrangement all through 710 meters length. So basically this is an wagon loading structure for loading of cement bags. One more wide span structure. This is basically, there are 2 gables. Each gable is having around 125 metric tons crane capacity. It is designed for 125 metric tons crane capacity. The communication towers and some of our elite customers. As you can see, past 5 years we have been working with almost top blue chip companies of India, and we have been getting repeat business from these companies. Of course, our growth is subject to their happiness, and we are able to satisfy to them to the core. Thank you very much. I would like to ask any questions if you have about this.
I think there are no questions. Thank you very much for a very lively and impressive presentation. But you did talk about the cost economics of all this compared to the present ones.
You mean to say, you see, the cost economics depends on if some example is extended to us, we can certainly talk about it. When it comes to, like, we had shown that there is a residential building, what we had back, it's a G+8 residential building. Now, cost economics depends on 2 factors. One is, of course, design for RCC, it can be economized as much as possible. In the steel also, same is the case. But then the faster completion of project is certainly is a thing which it depends on. It's a futuristic kind of thing, wherein what is the kind of time span which anyone requires to complete the project is what we need to understand. Based on that, how fast we can complete out of our products from our kitty is what we need to understand. So if there is something, if someone has got an idea that XYZ kind of length width height kind of building, what is the kind of time schedule and the cost economics, then we can certainly work out. It all depends on what are the requirements, basic requirements. We can do a case study of it. As I had shown, there was 12 lakh square feet of area through a 3D modeling sort of thing. This building was basically for a software company in Bangalore. And they had made this analysis. It was understood that it cost around 28% more than RCC structure, but the time required to complete this project is approximately 1/3 lesser than what it is in RCC structure. So that makes sense because they are saving on time. They are able to immediately get into that office space and start working through it. So that's where they derive the benefit out of it.
So there are indirect
benefits, yes, because as you say, as it is known very well that RCC building will be cheaper than steel building. But how costly a steel building would be, to our experience as of now out of the projects what we have executed, we had seen that this ranges between 20% to 30 to 35%. Like the Bharat Biotech G+7 structure, even there an analysis was made, it was 32% higher. Our cost was 32% higher. But similar plan area of building which Bharat Biotech had earlier executed, they had taken approximately 2 years. Whereas we have done it around 8.5 months of time. So that makes sense, like around 14 to 16 months of time saving. And for a pharmaceutical company, the key important thing is how fast you start generating that, producing that drug, and how fast you get into market. Because the investment is approximately 500 to 700 crores for any kind of drug to get produced, and the approval is for only 5 to 7 years. So they have to pull out the cost what is invested, and they have to make money out of it also.
Definitely, if it had not suited to the pocket of your client,
certainly it would have never been. It would have been just a dream on 3D model itself.
I have two small technical questions.
Yes.
What test can a user conduct on the sheeting material to assess its longevity? Second, what do you do to the exposed edges wherever you make the bolt holes to attach it to the structural purlins, or when you cut it, and what happens to the edge?
True. Coming down to the second question, because what we follow as a practice is, as you rightly said, when you punch holes into a secondary member, so we generally use pre-galvanized, hot dip galvanized purlins. Our basic market offer itself is 120 GSM of hot dip galvanized purlins, not hot dip, cold rolled galvanization. So when you punch a hole, obviously the edges are prone for rusting. So two ways of doing it. One is like we use a zinc spray onto it, so that it covers the portion whichever is cut. After cut, the edges which are prone for rusting. So the zinc spray actually helps in avoiding that rust. And second way of doing it is applying some amount of there's some chemical oily substance which can be applied onto it, so that it does not allow the moisture to go into the, affect the base material.
No, most of the exposure is happening when you use the self-drilling screws.
You're talking about from
attaching the sheeting to the purlins. So talk about purlins as well as sheeting.
Yeah. So self-drilling screws, first thing is you have to use right kind of quality of screw, because how the rusting happens, it is because of the forced environment. And the forced environment is because of the external exposure, or because of the material which is subsequently immediately next to the surface. So the screw is more important, the selection of screw is more important. You have to ensure that there are various classes of screws, class 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to select a screw which is more resistant towards external environment, or external forced environment which starts rusting. So that is first thing. Second thing is, while you make use of this, obviously it will not deteriorate or start rusting on its own. So obviously it will not force corrosion onto the material with which it is in contact with. So that is first way of doing it. Second way is avoiding any punches onto the roof. We have got a technology called a standing seam roofing system, wherein we try to avoid usage of fasteners. So as the fasteners are avoided, and it's a seaming process, so obviously sheet corrosion is avoided, and the sheet what you are using is an galvalume sheeting, and there are various alu-zinc coating masses available in market, AZ 150, 200, 250, depending on the environment you are into, or you are planning to construct a structure. So you can plan for different kind of alu-zinc coating masses. That will also avoid corrosion. And as you are trying to avoiding the fastening system and going for standing seam, graduating to standing seam roofing system, so that helps in minimizing the possibilities of rusting also.
I have not got the answers. I'm talking about the punches you make to the sheeting to attach them to the purlins. The standing seam has nothing to do with that.
You talk about two concepts. One is rusting of the purlin, rusting of sheeting.
Yes.
So rusting of sheeting, how it will happen?
At the exposed edges when you punch it.
When you are avoiding any punching, so obviously sheeting rusting is avoided totally because you are going for a seaming process. So that avoids the sheeting rusting. And also when I am talking about purlin rusting, so you are punching by means of a specified fastener which can resist corrosion. So as I said, there are various classes, probably a class 3 fastener or class 4 fastener. It resists corrosion. So when it is resisting corrosion, the surrounding areas in which it is in contact with, it will also not force corrosion onto those members. So that is the way we can do it. And also this corrosion concept starts with different kind of exposure phenomena. Internal exposure is different and external exposure is different. Most of these secondary members are within the envelope. So external environment having impact onto those secondary members is minimal. Yes.
Hello, sir. Sir, what is the cost per square feet, sir? What is the cost?
See, a warehouse, probably I would talk about warehouse because when it comes to cost per square feet, it depends on a lot of factors. What is the span of the structure? I am just giving you an example of say 20-meter span. What are your 100 meter, 150 meter width? And height is around 6 meters, wherein partially brickwork and then rest is cladding materials. So that would cost somewhere around about 300 to 350 rupees a square feet. There will be a clip which is basically a galvanized clip once again. There are bolts. The secondary member has got a flange, top flange, on which we drill a hole, fix 2 bolts onto it. And then this clip basically used as a mounting to the sheeting material. And along with the clip and the sheeting edges, the side laps of the sheet, they are seamed simultaneously to 360 degrees angle. It's a barrel seaming process, and it ensures that 100% leak proof. It's like a Coca-Cola can. So it's seamed to 360 degrees angle, and the side laps are totally sealed. And one basic advantage with our standing seam roofing system is we can give single sheet from ridge to eave portion. So even we have actually done this for 96 meters single length sheet. We have installed, wherein the roll former goes to the side, and the profiling work happens at side. And through the roller arrangement, it is pulled onto the roof sheet. So the end laps are avoided. We only give opening side ridge portion and the eave portion so that the sheet should breathe during the delta D. And the rest of the portion, end laps are avoided. Side laps are avoided by means of the steaming process. And as I said, the steaming process is by mounting of a clip onto the secondary flange, top of secondary flange. What test? Longevity of coating, because we are just roll formers of sheet material. I agree. See, basically these coils are manufactured by top. We generally deal with coil which is called galvalume, zinc plus aluminium alloy, and there are 5 reputed licensed manufacturers of galvalume sheets in India. Now these people have got their internal process of coating and how they arrive at the base material. Now as an engineered steel building manufacturing company, we just roll form the products. Now as you said, the test regarding longevity, generally this guarantee or warranty to the sheeting material is provided by the OEM, whoever is supplying the sheet. So generally it ranges from 5 years to 10 years depending on the kind of environment this product is being used. So they extend the warranty. Per se, you personally carrying out the test, It cannot be done at the site. It has to go to some laboratories. There are independent laboratories which can carry out. There are various tests like tensile test is there. It is about perforation, salt spray exposure test. There are various tests which can be carried out, but it has to be done at independent laboratories. It cannot be carried out at site. Yeah.
Based on your experience, what has been the complaint ratio of screw down to your standing system?
See, as I said, in pre-engineered steel building concept in India started in 2000, and from 2000 to 2015, you would see that whenever it's a screw down system, there is marginal possibility of leakage. You cannot totally ignore the fact that it is not going to leak for sure. So, because when it is a screw down system, we are talking about a metal sheet which has to expand and contract during differential temperatures. And when you are screwing it down and fixing onto the purlin, so obviously it restrains the movement of sheet, and the portion wherein the puncture has happened, it elongates after some point of time. Now, of course, there are various ways of plugging this. Also, there are EPDM washers. The screw will itself have a washer, but that also has got its exposure life, probably 5 years, 6 years, or 8 years. So after that, there is every possibility of leakage. So we generally say, because there are no various, as you see in 1960, an automotive car was quite different, and now when we stand in 2015, it is different. There is a lot of improvement happening in the technology and also in the kind of products which are available. Now the next range of product is standing seam roofing system. The solution to avoid leakage, we cannot say that it is not going to happen. Somebody says that no 100% leak-proof structure on a screw-down system. Probably me as a representative of a company, I will have to say no, it is not possible. We cannot give any warranties on a screw-down system. There is every possibility of leakage, but when it would happen, it depends on two factors. How long the material is going to sustain, the EPDM material, or the workmanship, what it is being used. It can leak the very first rain if the workmanship is bad. If workmanship is good, probably around 6 to 8 years of span. So we have to use the new technology which is available, standing seam roofing system, and out of the total around 830 projects what we have in our hand past 6 years. So we have seen that around 28% of those structures are they have like the projects there, people have started using standing seam roofing system. They specify it in the tenders or in their original RFQ, reference to code.